I'm back with the third part of the lesson that Wally is taking a ride in the bus. And now we'll be moving on to the further and have a quick revision of the second part as of she is very proud that she has paid up 30 paise for her ticket and she has just annoyed over some kinds of displeasure, somebody irritated with the silly questions that are you traveling alone? Where are you traveling? What's the street name? What's the house number? And so on. So this was her first bus journey and she was 8 years old. Moving on, her first journey. What careful, painstaking, elaborate plans she had to make for it. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and the of 60 paise. So 30 each for going and coming back home. She saved up 60 paise thriftily. It's nothing but without spending the money carefully. She just collected the money and she made her way to the bus ride as of total cost is 60 paise. She saved up. How difficult it would be for a little girl without taking up a peppermints, joys, toys, the balloons, and so on. So it would be a greatest sacrifice for a kid. The same, here the Valley just collected 60 paise. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair, but she had resolutely stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round. In the sense, very strong decisions she has taken out to take a ride in the bus. Go for an, it's equivalent to an excursion for her, even though she had the money. So a kind of some kind of a kind of guts she has that she can travel. But how? Let's see. After she had enough money saved, her next problem was how to slip out of the house without her mother's knowledge. If she says that she'll take a ride in the bus and she'll come back, nobody will agree. She's such a little girl. Mother definitely she never allows. And she just thinking the plan how to get out of the house without her mother's knowledge. But she managed this without too much difficulty. She managed something and she had an idea. What was it? Every day after lunch, her mother would nap from about 1 to 4 or so. Vali always used these hours for her excursions and she stood looking from the doorway of her house. So after lunch, mother would take a nap in the sense she would be sleeping off from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. These hours were utilized very well by Vali that she may go for the excursion itself. Then later, or she would be watching up the things what's happening in her door by standing in her doorway. So just she just took a very good advantage of this time and what she has done. So ventured out in the sense very consciously and very courageously. She just managed to get out into the village today. These same hours could be used for her flight excursion outside the village. So the same idea has been utilized and made by her that she might go out and take a ride and before mummy will be getting up, she might come back. So this was the biggest idea she has done. And then the bus rolled on now bay landscape, tiny hamlet bus, an odd wayside shop seemed towards them a pedestrian crossing the road. So here, fish enjoying and observing every move of a bus where sometimes it goes away near the shop and it goes gobbling or off. The bus would be going on to the pedestrians like that itself. In the sense, pedestrians are the fellows who will be standing or just moving in the footpath. But low, what's this low? Low, it's nothing but a word which we use in our English to just get the attention. Somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacles safely behind. So the bus has crossed up all the obstacles and it has just safely behind left all the things, and even the trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them and simply stood there. So when the bus is just moving on, the small kids, they enjoy the rides and they'll be just peeping out of the window what's happening out, and they also think that, and they had a very kind of a fascinating imagination that the bus moving out, but the trees will be moving according to them. So as a reality, we should think, but we are moving, but the trees are on the same place wherever they are. The same way as being a child, she is also enjoying every ride and she thinks that the tree is getting moved on. And very helpless way, when the bus stops and even the tree also stops and stands, and which is rushing away in the other direction, which stands very hands with lead. She's onto the bus itself and the bus is moving. A young cow, tail high in the air, and was running very fast right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. So in front of the bus, a young cow is there, which has just took up his tail in the air and running very fast in the middle of the road. That is in the front of the bus itself. By seeing this, Wally is gleeing up and clapping her hand. She thinks this situation is very funny, but this would be a very dangerous thing where it would, the animal would get hurt and there would be a obstacle for the bus too. And for that reason, the bus just slowed down to a crawl and the driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. So the animals hate sound. If you make a sound, they definitely get irritated and they will be just annoyed. The same thing has happened here. But the more he honked, the more frightened the animal became and the faster it galloped. Yes. More the times he honk on, the more faster and the more anxious the animal is just getting out. Always right in front of the bus, though. So the driver is just saying that in front of the bus always. Why is that so? I think you can see in the picture. The cow is just hailing up its tail in the air and the bus is just rushing over. So what happens? We are learning the lesson. Madam rides the bus. Yes. And then what happens next? So let's see. Somehow it was very funny to Wally, but the situation was very horrible for the conductor and even for the driver. She laughed, laughed, and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. She just laughed and laughed on until she just gets the tears in her eyes. Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough? Called the conductor. Better save some for tomorrow. And he was just irritated by the annoying cow on the road. And he said, isn't it enough laughing? Save for tomorrow also. At last, the cow moved off the road and soon the bus came to the railroad crossing. A speck of a train could be seen in the distance. So it has been, the bus is just passing through the railroad, and in a distance, she can also see the rail which is just coming over from the distance and growing bigger and bigger. But is coming nearer, the sound and even the picturesque of the train, it's just growing bigger. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with a tremendous roar and rattle. So it just moved on, like I think you people will be observed that how the train will be moving on very fast in the sense. So it has just moved over the gate, that is the train gate, where the other vehicles will be standing beside and waiting the train to move on. Then shaking the bus, yes, because of the force of the train's speed and the sound, the bus is just shaking off. Then the bus went on and passed the train station. So after passing on the train station, from there it traversed a busy, well laid out shopping street and turning entered a wider through fair. So that was a fair day, a village fair is going on. So it has entered up the street and the main road of the town where she can see up the colorful shopping street where the village fair is happening. And she was very surprised to see up such big, bright looking shops, what glittering displays of clothes and other merchandise, such big crowds. And she was totally surprised to see up these things. And all the things have been put up for a sale. And this was the first time, and this is the first experience for the Wali. Struck dumb with wonder, Wali gaped at everything. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off except Wali. So everybody just got off from the bus except Wali. She is just sitting still in the bus. By looking to this, conductor said, "Hey lady," said the conductor, "aren't you ready to get off? This is as far as your 30 paise takes you. Since your turn is over, your traveling period is done. We have reached our destination. Get off. Don't you want to get off? And 30 paise can bring up yet only here." "No," Wali said. "I'm going back on this same bus." So she said that, "No, I don't want to get off. I'll be going on the same bus again back to my village." She took another 30 paise from her pocket and handed the coins to the conductor. She just handed over the coins to the conductor, the other 30 paise which was remaining. "Why is something the matter?" So he just questions, why aren't you getting out? And why do you want to go on the same bus while it's returning back in a very short span? Is there anything? So that, "No, nothing's the matter. I just felt like having a bus ride, that's all." So she said that, "No, nothing the matter. I don't have any work or I don't have to buy anything, but I just want to take a bus ride. That's all. Don't you want to have a look at the sights now that you are here?" So conductor said that, "Though you are here, don't you want to take a look outside the street? And the street is so colorful. And all by myself, oh, I would be much too afraid." And she said, "No, I don't want to get down because I'll be very afraid." Because for the first time, she's seeing that such a big crowd. Greatly amused by the girl's way of speaking, the conductor said. So he was a bit surprised, though she showed some a good kind of a very proudness and a kind of an attitude for the conductor when she has got onto the bus. But now she says that she's just feeling afraid. So that's the reason he's feeling so amused. "But you weren't afraid to come up in the bus. Nothing to be afraid of about that," she answered. "I just love to get a ride, but nothing there that I'll be afraid of coming onto the bus." "Well, then, why not go to that stall over there and have something to drink?" So he says, "Okay, then, why don't you have to that go to that stall and have a drink? Nothing to be afraid of about that either." Yes, he's just doing the right thing. And he says, "There is nothing to get feared of. Why don't you go and drink something?" "Oh no, I could not do that." "Well, then let me bring you a cold drink." So she said that, "No, I can't go." So conductor, he said that, "Okay then, let me bring a cold drink for you." And for that, she said, "No, I don't have enough money. Just give me my ticket, that's all." So she just ignored what he said and she started to say, "No, I don't want anybody's gift. You just give me my ticket, that's all. It will be my treat and not cost you anything." So he said, "It will be my treat off. It won't be costable for you anything." "No, she said firmly. "Please, no." The conductor shrugged in the sense he just bent over his shoulders and they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again, there were not many passengers. So they just waited, handed over a cool drink to Wali. After that, they were waiting. The bus driver and the conductor, along with the bus, they were just waiting up the passengers to come in to the return journey to the village. As of it's a afternoon period, there were not many passengers. So Wali has completed half a way, that is one journey, village to a town. The next, will she be successful in going back home safely? So that will be seen in the fourth part of the lesson. So till by then, please do revise. Madam rides the bus. The lesson is all about Wali, a 8-year-old girl. Revise it and hope you're all enjoying the lesson. So I'll be meeting up you all in my next video of the fourth part of the lesson. Till by then, happy learning.